Hello, today I'm going to talk about things that I dislike and like about London. This is the United Kingdom, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales and England, and here is London. First, I'm going to talk about things I don't like about London. Things I don't like. The first thing I don't like about London is the weather. In London, it's very cold and it rains a lot and it's very windy. The average winter temperature in London is 7 degrees during the daytime. In Spain, it's 15 degrees during the daytime. So London is much colder. Much colder. The second thing I don't like about London is there's too many people. There's lots and lots and lots of people. Lots and lots of people. Too many people. And everyone in London is in a rush. In London, lots of the time, people will bump into you because they're in such a rush. They're running to go to work. Everyone is in a rush. The third thing I don't like about London is the tube. The tube. With windows here, and doors. What is the tube? Tube is like a train, but underground. This is the street with cars. And people. And underneath is the tube, the underground. I don't like the tube. Because it's too busy. There's too many people. And they're all packed in together. Too many people. No space. Ugh, it's hard to breathe. And in summertime, it gets too hot. Also on the tube, it's a little awkward because everyone is looking at their phone. Everyone is looking at their phone, and no one wants to make eye contact. This is an eye, and no one wants to make eye contact. No one on the tube wants to look at each other's eyes because they think it's a little bit awkward. Another thing I don't like about the tube, another thing that I don't like about the tube is that when people are sick, there's not much space. Everyone's packed together. All the people are packed together and there's not much space. There's not much space in the tube. So when someone I get sick. It's a little bit disgusting, a little bit dirty, dirty. Now I'm gonna talk about things I like about London. The first thing I like about London is the food. The food is really good. Very nice. The food is really good because in London you get food from all over the world. This is the world. Get countries. Sea. And in London you get food from all over the world. In London they have food from Thailand, from China, from India, from Peru, from Italy, France, everywhere in the world. London has really good restaurants, really good restaurants from all over the world, every country. In other countries, in countries that aren't the United Kingdom, which are not England, like France, this is France, or Spain, this is Spain, they don't have as much. They don't have lots and lots of food from all over the world. They tend to eat more food from their own country. Where in the United Kingdom, and especially London, there's food from all over the world. Really good food, because there's lots of immigration. Lots of people go to London from lots of different countries, and they bring with them, they take their food. So in London you get the best food from all over the world. The second thing I really like, that I love about London, is the museums. London has really good museums, My favourite museum, the one I like most, more than any other museum, is the National History Museum. The National History Museum. I love the National History Museum way more than any other museum, because it has lots and lots of animals. A cat, meow meow. A cat is an animal. A dog is an animal. And in the National History Museum they have lots of animals that are stuffed animals, but animals that used to live, animals that used to be alive, but now are dead. They're dead. When you enter the National History Museum, when you go inside the National History Museum, the first thing you see is a giant whale. This is a whale, and in the National History Museum they have a giant whale, a really big whale, and the whale is hanging from the ceiling. This is the ceiling. You walk underneath the whale that's on the ceiling. Oh, it's amazing. Wow. It's really cool. Also in the National History Museum, they have birds. They have birds from all over the world, and the birds are lots of colours. These are colours, and the birds are lots of colours. Some are the colour red, some are the colour red, some are the colour blue. This is blue, the colour blue. This is the colour red. Some are the colour purple. Some are green. And some are all of the colours. These are the colours, and some of the birds have all of the colours. Their feathers, the feathers on their wings are all of the colours. These are the birds from the National History Museum. How beautiful, eh? Really, really beautiful. The third thing I love about London is the buildings. This is a building with an entrance, a door. You open the door to get in, to go in the building. This is a building. And in London, they have amazing buildings. Really, really cool buildings. Amazing buildings. They have buildings that are really tall. Really tall. They have old buildings. Buildings from way, way, way in the past that were built long ago, way in the past. They have old buildings like museums. My favorite building in London, my favorite building from the past, my favorite old building in London is the British Museum. This is the British Museum. How cool. One of the best things to do in London is to go and look at the buildings. In London they have lots of tall buildings. I really like tall buildings because in tall buildings you can go to the roof of the tall building and look at all the other buildings. This is a garden with trees, a house, flowers and grass. And in London they have a building called the Sky Garden. A garden in the sky, and from there you can see a view of all of London. It's really, really beautiful. If you're ever in London, you should go to the Sky Garden and look at the view. In London there's a river called the River Thames, and along the River Thames there's a really cool building that I like a lot, and it's got a massive clock called Big Ben. Big Ben is a clock that goes dong 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 dong. And beside Big Ben, there's the Houses of Parliament where the politicians argue with each other. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, I'm right. No, you're wrong. In the Houses of Parliament, and the building is really beautiful. And beside the Houses of Parliament, there's the London Eye. And the London Eye is a wheel that goes round and round and round. And you go inside a little cabin, and the wheel goes round and round and round, and you get a great view of the whole of London. It's really beautiful. That's it. That's all. That's the three things that I like and dislike about London. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye bye.